Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl Bryars and I'm a project manager at Griffith University in the Climate Ready initiative under the Climate Action Beacon, and I'm here today to talk about Becoming Climate Ready, which is a short course that we have developed for local government to help build capability in climate risk management. Before I begin, I would just like to acknowledge the people who are the traditional custodians of the land, and we pay our respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So, Becoming Climate Ready is a 10-week online short course to help build local government capability to manage climate risks and take advantage of the opportunities. We cover 8 key topic areas and it requires about 2 hours of online learning each week to do the course, and the whole idea of it is to be able to apply the learning to your local context. So we've really developed the course which is applicable wherever you are on your climate risk management journey in a council across Australia. There's 3 online workshops as part of the course, 2 of which are compulsory, and then there's one at the beginning which is an introductory workshop just to get to know each other, get to know people in your cohort and learn a bit more about the course and to answer any questions. The course is designed for anyone working at that sort of managerial level across local government. That could be a senior leader, it could be a coordinator, it could be a team leader. If you can get your executives on board, then even better, noting that it might be a stretch to get that commitment of time. But the idea is also if you can build a bit of an internal community of practice or some climate champions for your organisation by having maybe 3 or more people attend the course from your organisation, that's a really great way to work on this together and to be able to identify different risks and opportunities across your organisation and be able to take this forward, because climate change isn't just the business of those that work in the environment or sustainability, but across all service delivery areas. So if you can get people involved in corporate risk, those involved in finance or strategy development, it'd be really great to include them too. So the course has been developed from 2 key programs that CRI were involved in. These were the Queensland Climate Ready Program, which was a 4-year program between 2018 and 2022, working with 6 key Queensland Government department agencies to build their internal capability on climate risk management. And one of the key outputs of this was a guideline, which is on the screen now, and you can download this. It's in the public realm. And also there was the Queensland Climate Resilient Councils programme, which was under LGAQ, and similarly a framework and guideline was also produced as part of this. So we really wanted to take the learnings and saw that there was an opportunity from both of these programs to scale up the impact that we had working with different councils and different state government departments to build capability and uplift at a much wider and broader scale. So why is training on climate risk management so important? Well, we know climate change is a wicked problem and it needs a dynamic approach to address it. And local government, being at the forefront and on the ground, have a duty of care to support community. Australia is highly exposed and vulnerable to an array of climate risks, but also opportunities as well. So we can't forget those when we think about climate risk management. The impacts are very complex and vary in place, and so it's important to consider those and how we might address and respond to them, but also how we might reduce and mitigate against those risks. It's important to build capability across your organisation to understand and for your organisation to be aware of what the current risks are and what the future ones might be and how you might respond to those, and how that fits in with changing compliance and regulations around managing risks and around disclosure and reporting. And as I briefly mentioned, the opportunities, and this is in relation to moving towards a low carbon economy and what that means in way of transitioning to that. And this is all in aid to support that long-term sustainability and to build resilience. And on the screen on the right is a diagram just illustrating some of the key risks and opportunities across both physical and transition in the public sector, and across different areas, but then also at the bottom there are some of those key negative and positive effects as well, which are important to consider in all service delivery areas, and it's important in that whole organisational context. So there's 8 key modules in the course and they're listed on the screen now. So module 1 focuses on climate change and the science for decision making, and this really sets the scene for the state of play for climate change both within Australia but internationally, and also looking at the policy across each level of government as well, and where we've positioned, and the links with disaster risk management and how they're interconnected and how they can how they can be considered together as well. And module 2 looks at physical and transition risk types, and here we look at how that relates to different service delivery areas, and we use lots of case studies and examples to support this, and it's backed by scientific evidence of the climate scenarios and what we need to do to get to net zero by 2050 in Australia as well. And then module 3 is about communicating for engagement. This is looking at communication and engagement both internally within your organisation, but also externally as well with stakeholders and the community. Module 4 is around enabling responsive leadership and more effective climate governance. And here we're looking at roles and responsibilities, we're looking at governance structures and how to really get that executive support to help drive climate risk management. Module 5 is about integrating climate risk into corporate risk management, and here we look at ways to embed it across your organisation to help it become part of business as usual, and so it's part of all aspects of decision making. This could include it in things such as your risk register, your risk management guidelines, making it a strategic priority and how to go about that. Module 6 is about identifying and prioritising climate risks, and this is where we touch on in more detail about doing a baseline climate risk assessment with lots of tools and resources to do that, ways in which you can run different workshops, and how you can refine strategies and actions to support managing those risks and also taking forwards those opportunities and identifying actions. We then embed this into module 7 further by looking at ways to build capacity and capability in that strategic action planning and forward thinking when you're looking at different pathways to embed different actions across the organisation. And then module 8 is about monitoring, evaluating and reporting progress on climate risk management, and we touch on the new frameworks coming into play, different disclosure standards, and the need to really to embed it across existing frameworks. So the course has been designed in a program called Canvas. Some of you may be familiar with that. It's a platform that looks. There's a screenshot on this slide now. On the left is a snapshot of module 4, and you'll see there's a number of different sections to go through. There's 4 sections within each module, and it's split into having 2 key learning outcomes for each. And there's the scroll panel on the left, and there's a glossary of terms that's downloadable at the beginning of the course, and we relate to the different key terms in each of the modules. We've got lots of different interactive flip cards, case studies, links to best practice resources to really help provide a streamlined view of best practice climate risk management in Australia right now, and we also touch on some international examples too. In terms of the course design, we worked with 11 different academics across Griffith University who were involved in that co-design of content and were involved in producing videos and podcasts. We also worked with a number of experts in the field to help and ensure that we were producing fit for purpose content. This included external experts, but also working with councils as well to provide case studies and content. And on the screen now is just a snapshot of a few of the videos that are included in the course. So we've got an introduction to climate change by Professor Brendan Mackey. We have Professor Susan Harris-Rimmer talking on human rights and climate risk management, and in that video she importantly talks about the need to consider climate risk in major event planning, well, all event planning, but major events, and how it can be complex, but how it's really important to be considered along with human rights as well. And then we have lots of case studies and examples spoken about by Professor Ian Mackenzie, who has a brilliant amount of experience in disaster risk. And then we have Dorian Earhart, who's an expert in climate risk management, talking to storyline scenarios for doing high-level climate risk assessment. So there's just a few examples of what's included in the course. We have developed a number of resources and templates for the course. For example, we've got a resource map that we designed with each of the different LGAs across Australia. We worked with each of the states to identify key government resources in terms of policy, best practice, any useful tips and tricks to download in relation to climate risk, and any state legislation as well. We also have the Australian climate policy maps, which have been developed for adaptation and mitigation in all of the key economic sectors across Australia. And this was a product that was produced as part of the Climate Ready Australia 2030 program that the CRI run as well. We've also got a number of templates in the course, including in relation to the climate risk assessment, such as Excel spreadsheets to help run you through identifying what your risks and opportunities are, ideas for running workshops. We've got terms of reference templates and working group templates, and others to help support with the course. In terms of the course delivery, as I said, there's 3 workshops. So we've got workshop in week 1, which is led by Dr. Wade Hadwin, and this is just to provide an introduction to the course. And then we've got a workshop in week 5, which is led by our CRI associate Tracy Stinson, and this is really to explore tips and progress on climate risk management at that executive level. But more importantly, these workshops are a chance to connect with each other on the course and share your challenges and best practice and learnings on what you've done to date. And then the last workshop is led by our CRI associates Donovan Burton or Dorian Earhart, and this workshop here identifies areas around doing that baseline risk assessment and to get a deeper understanding of what that could look like and how to embed climate risk within your corporate risk management process, but also again to connect with everyone and check in with where you're all at. We have an activity workbook which is part of the key assessment of the course, and the activity workbook relates to all of the 8 modules, and there's 3 activities for each module, and the idea of these activities is to apply it to your local context. So at the end of it you'll have a booklet that's filled out with lots of key actions and lots of ideas, and it really is a great way to pull together a big picture of where your council is positioned, but more specifically in relation to your service area. So again, this is a great task that you could do if there's others that also do the course in your organisation, to compare notes and to look at what are key areas that you think should be a priority next, and it can be used to help drive that action. We've also got 2 multiple choice quizzes as part of the assessment, and there are also knowledge checks at the end of each module, which is just to touch base on what you've learned. And at the end of the course is the chance to then get a Griffith University digital badge, which I will talk about in the next slide. Credentials and accreditation. So the digital badge is a really great way to enhance credibility and to showcase your skills of your professional development and help secure support and acknowledgement that you've done the course. It can be displayed on LinkedIn or as part of your email footer, but it can be really used to help support and drive that change when you're getting support at the higher level. And we are currently looking into a potential credit pathway for other Griffith University courses, one of these being the grad certification in climate change adaptation. And we work with a number of peak bodies across Australia, including PIA and AILA, Australian Institute of Landscape Architects, who are offering their own CPD points for their members who complete the course too. So this provides some further accreditation and support for the course, which is really great. In terms of course contributors, this just outlines a number of different people and organisations that have contributed to the course content in terms of co-design, development and its delivery. This includes both academics across Griffith University and professional staff, as well as our CRI associates, and then those external to the university. So the first cohort ran in April 2024, and since then to date, which is the 2nd of October, we have run a course in August, and our third cohort just started at the beginning of October. And we plan to run 4 cohorts in 2025. But just to touch on the testimonials and the feedback that we've had so far, so we have managed to reach across 4 states in Australia so far: Victoria, Queensland, South Australia and Western Australia. That was just from the April cohort alone, and we've now broadened that to New South Wales as well. So we're pleased to start seeing some participants come through from those councils. And so we've had some amazing feedback. There's just a few testimonials displayed on the screen now, including one of the leading councils in Queensland from Sunshine Coast, and they note that although they've been on the journey of doing climate risk management for years, having the processes logically laid out and the fantastic resources to guide its implementation, they know it will definitely help improve their approach. So that was really great to hear. And it's just really good to have this feedback coming through to show that it's really adding value, and it's really helps pave the way to provide some content and some educational uplift without having so much information being thrown at you. It's very digestible with just 2 hours of learning each week. So we are also currently opening some expressions of interest for a number of future micro-credentials that we are looking to build using the Becoming Climate Ready for Local Government one as the foundational one. So please look out for some expressions of interest coming through for other micro-credentials that we are looking to build, tailoring it for other areas of government, also one for executives, and then some other notable areas are navigating transition planning and sustainable tourism, and then becoming sustainable finance ready as well. So if you would like to look at opportunities to collaborate or partner on those, please do get in touch. But also similarly, in terms of bespoke opportunities, if you would like more of a business to business setup where we can tailor content and case studies, or have your executives be involved in some of the videos to introduce topics, whether you would like us to include your risk management or corporate frameworks within the design of the content, we are open to discussion and working on that with you. Similarly, if you would like to have a couple of expert presentations coming into your council as part of a program delivery, we are open to that as well. So please get in touch, and we are encouraging everyone to work together. So if there's regions or alliances, we are also open to doing bespoke opportunities for clusters of councils as well. So register now. We have 4 cohorts for 2025, and as I said, we've got some bespoke opportunities available if you would like, as well as looking at how we can build on this course for local government for other sectors and entities. So please do get in touch if you are interested. There's a QR code on the screen now, and this takes you to our main course website with more information about the learning objectives in more details and what you can expect. But that's everything from me in this video. I'd just like to say thank you for listening, and please do get in touch if you've got any questions or would like a chat or would like a bit of a more detailed taster of the course, or to find out any more information. But thank you very much.